Welcome, adventurers, to another episode of the Thumbstick Adventurers. I'm Kagros.
IDK.
Juicy samples.
Today we got a very special episode. It's our 20th episode. Hooray to us. So, before we get started, I want to quickly plug our Twitch and YouTube channels. We stream every day, or every Wednesday evening at 8:30 p.m. I guess it's 8 p.m. now. 8:30 p.m. PST. You can catch us live, or you can watch all of our other episodes on our YouTube channel. Both of our you can find at Thumbstick Adventurers. So, anyways, today episode 20, Key to My Heart. As you can guess from the background, this is going to be a Kingdom Hearts episode. But first, I think Juicy will start us off with a quick roundup.
Yeah, a quick roundup of games that we've been playing either this week or the past month. Um, the reason why I want to bring this up is because I'm really interested to learn more about It Takes Two, because I know Kagros has been streaming that with Tonk. How do you like it so far?
Dude, it's pretty fun. I think the easiest way to it's like a Pixar movie. Or yeah, it's like a Pixar movie, except a little more geared towards adults. I
Mhm.
think it's definitely a fun co-op game. I don't know. I think it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. The design of the game is very whimsical, very playful, not too serious. Although it can get a little tense during some boss fights and some puzzles. But it's a lot of fun.
Nice. Are you like halfway through?
I think we're about halfway through. My guess based on a certain metric.
Actually, my first question is how much of a gamer do you have to be to play this game?
You don't have to be a gamer. IDK, I
You
think
don't have
you've
to be a
watched
gamer?
you've watched a bit of me playing, right? I don't think you really need to be a gamer to really enjoy it.
Yeah, I've actually gotten to watch a fair amount of you guys' playthrough of it, and no, I mean I think anyone could really pick it up and learn. It's just jumping, running, and jumping. The simplest of
It
concept. Like later on, you get more advanced techniques. You know, throwing nails or hitting a hammer on something. But they're all very simple and basic. There's no like combos or special techniques you like have to memorize to do. It's all very simple.
Hmm.
Yeah, I want to play the game with my partner, but I don't know if she can jump and run at the same time. Well, and then I also don't have a PS controller, but I want to play it.
Oh, I was like, you could play on your PC, but now I was like, oh wait, you don't have a PC.
Maybe I will. Maybe for a early review copy of something.
Use
I
that Steamy copy.
I'll try that.
Use that Steamy check, dude. Buy yourself a PC.
But other than that, have you been playing other games? I know you've been playing maybe one other game, somewhat like recently.
Yeah, I finished Genosia, I think 2 weeks ago. We will have a I think well once you finish up we'll have a Genosia episode. I look forward to discussing that game with the rest of you. And
I'm on loop 90, if that matters.
you need at least my guess you'll need 50 more loops.
Yep. Yep.
My guess is you'll need about 50 more loops. Plus or minus 20. No. At least 50 loops, maybe 70. I think
Holy
I think I
crap.
finished at loop 160.
Okay.
So yeah, you still have a while to go. IDK has watched it. Did you finish watching it, IDK?
No, not yet. I have to go back and find the last video for the streamer I was watching because I
Yeah,
got.
he's IDK is on. It's close to the end as well. Like
I've seen most of the stuff. So like, if we talk about anything, I'll be like, oh yeah, that guy. Um,
I can't wait to find out who your guys' favorite character. I think Juicy
you already know who my favorite character
Juicy
is.
did I tell you who my favorite character is already?
Jeez, yeah, yeah, you have.
Okay, dude, is that also your favorite character so far?
Me?
I don't think it is, right? It's not. I don't think it's your favorite
No,
character, right? No, it's not. Okay, that's what I thought.
not at all, not
Yeah.
at all. Yeah.
Okay. Don't worry. Yeah, that may or may not change. I'm just saying.
I think I think my favorite girl character right now is Jonas.
Jonas, get that guy out of here. Get him out of
Really
here.
interesting. Interesting.
So actually, I wasn't referring to that game, Kagros. I was referring to Valheim. You've been playing a lot of
Oh yeah,
Valheim too.
Valheim. Yeah, I have been playing a lot of Valheim. I think I'm over 150 hours logged in.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a
Wow.
lot. It's a lot. I think it's pretty fun. It can be frustrating at times, but for a I'm not normally a big fan of these like survival crafting games, but Valheim is, I don't know. There's something about it. It's like the crafting system is pretty complex, or it can be as complex as you want it to build. Like I build really basic stuff, but like my brother and some of Tong's friends have been building like crazy buildings where I'm just like I like to explore. I am like I'm like the scout. I like playing the scout role where like going out, finding new things and dying. I think I play too fast for some people. Like I just want to
Hmm.
go. Like all right, guys, it's new, and they're like, oh no, we have to prepare. No, screw it. Let's go. Who cares? Just go. Like there could be new
Oh,
shit. So I don't know. I'm just balls to the walls explorer, dude. I think I think it's because that's how I play. Like, I was a big RTS player growing up. So and usually my strategy in RTS is always aggressive. So it's like okay, like always put if you stop putting pressure, you die. Then you'll lose. So like in Advanced Wars, my strategy is always at the beginning is get that APC, load up with infantry, drive it as far across the map as you can, and then drop your infantry down and start capturing, and then you just kind of take all the territory in between your where you drove out, and so like you send out the unit as far as you can, and then you take, and that way you'll control the biggest area that you possibly can. I think I follow this philosophy now in most of my gaming.
But isn't Valheim? Do you play against other people?
No, there is PvP, but there is like bosses that you have to take down, and they will unlock new
Oh, I
things.
see.
So,
I see. I
and
see.
it's a lot easier. I don't think you'll be able to solo a boss past the first boss. Like it will take a long time to solo the boss past the first boss.
Hmm.
What have you been
Cool.
playing?
Um, Besides Genosia, which I play like maybe a handful of loops at a time.
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing this game that I've downloaded called Murder by Numbers, and it's on sale on the Switch. And it's a Phoenix Wright versus a Picross game.
Huh.
So it just has a really cute story. You just try to find clues and you present clues, but there's no like what is it? The trial portion of the
Mm-hmm.
game.
Mm-hmm.
It's none of that. It's just mostly story and Picross.
Mm.
And it's pretty fun. Just for the Picross aspect. The story's kind of cute. I'm not super great at Picross, so I'm like kind of stuck. And right now it's like, okay, maybe I should like get back to Genosia and play that. Um, and then other than that, I've been playing Control,
Mm-hmm.
which I got from PS Plus earlier this year,
Mm-hmm.
and that's been pretty cool actually. Like the lore is pretty deep. Um, I still don't know what's going on, and I think that's the purpose of the game. So, yeah, gotta keep playing.
All right. And then last up, let's go to IDK. What have you been playing, my friend?
so like I mentioned to you before, but I didn't get to tell Juicy. I finished ES8,
Nice.
and I I got a little bit of a bittersweetness to it. I wanted to keep playing more, but I didn't want to keep playing that game. I was tired of it. So lo and behold, there was a a PlayStation Store sale on some games in the series. So I was able to pick up uh, East 4, Memories of Soleta, or Soseta, whatever. And I picked that game up. It's like one of the other games that's available on the PS4. So I've been playing that, and it's interesting because it's an old like PS2 game they remade for modern. Like it's like a modern port basically. It looks like an old PS2 game, but it controls well, and it's so far it's been okay. I've only got like a couple hours in it, but it's a different feeling than the game I just played, 8.
Mhm.
And there's a character in 4 who actually shows up in 8. It's kind of like a crossover. They're not very important. They're just there randomly. So seeing that person again, I'm like, hey, this is the game you're from. Well, that's kind of cool. And of course, after I finished 8, I went online and like spent 2 hours reading all of like the synopsises of all the games to see if like there was a grand overarching story.
Mhm.
And there technically isn't, but there technically is because sometimes they'll reference each other. And so I also downloaded the demo for East 9, which just came out this year. And because that game apparently has references to a bunch of the other games, especially 8 and 4. So I'm waiting for that game to go on sale. But eventually I'm probably going to get that game and just keep playing East. Just going to keep playing East until I get
Nice.
sick.
Yeah, I've been
Uh,
itching for an RPG, and like recently we were talking about Fire Emblem Three Houses, thanks to ProZD and his ranking of characters, and that makes me want to play it again, especially since I can play a different house for that game. But speaking of the PlayStation Store, I also bought Witcher 3, the entire collection.
oh, really?
And
Ooh,
I'm
nice.
hoping that once I get a PlayStation 5 in 2025, there's an updated version, the PS5 version of that, and I can play that.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I'm just putting it in my back pocket, in my backlog right now.
Okay. I mean, hopefully it goes better for you than it did for me. I wasn't. I mean, Witcher is. It's funny. I bought the original Witcher, Witcher 1, for PC, like
Oof.
a decade and a half ago, and never got to play because my PC couldn't handle it. And so it just sat there in its cool ass box on my shelf for years until, like, Witcher 3 came out, and I went, wait a minute, don't I have this game already? And I went home and looked at my shelf, and there was the original Witcher just sitting there, like, untouched. I was like, wow.
That's the collector's
Well-
item.
Lo and behold, I supported these guys, but never played their game.
From what I've seen, Witcher 1 is
Uh,
pretty rough. It's nothing like Witcher
Yeah.
2 or 3, so.
Yeah, I kind of missed the boat on playing that when it was okay to play it. But maybe you'll enjoy Witcher 3. It's maybe, hell, after playing Yakuza, maybe I could actually enjoy Witcher 3. I don't know. I wasn't very fond of combat, the combat style.
Oh, uh-huh.
But I've been playing so many action games that maybe I could actually handle it. I wouldn't be bothered by it. I don't know. That's the one thing about the ES games, like, or the East games. They're very different from the Trails games that Nihon Falcon also makes. That are turn-based, and so playing a action JRPG is both relaxing and stressful at the same time. Because you can go into combat and just roll up and slaughter the enemies, like boom, they're dead. But you can also roll into a boss battle where like the boss just like does this undodgeable move, and you're like, I'm gonna die and I can't do anything. What am I supposed to do? Like in turn-based, you could sit there and be like, oh, he's charging up. Maybe I can guard, or like maybe I can like interrupt him. And technically you can do that too in the ES games, but it always just feels like I mess up the guard, or I mess up the dodge, or I don't know what the weakness of this boss is, and I just get obliterated. I have to redo the whole encounter. But that's all I've been doing.
Nice. Kagros,
Yes.
lead us off
All right.
to episode 20.
Episode 20. So we're gonna do the Kingdom Hearts tier list. You know, we thought, me and Juicy were discussing this Like, it's our 20th episode. We should do something special. Like, what should we do? And like, but we can't do Persona. We can't do Persona because we've done so much
Why
Persona.
not?
We've done so much Persona already. All of our listeners already know how big of a fan of Persona we are. We need to save Persona for like episode 25, maybe episode 25, maybe episode 50. I don't know, but we were talking like, what can we discuss? And then Juicy was finally like, we should do Kingdom Hearts. And here's the thing that you may not know is that we had previously done a Kingdom Hearts episode, a pretty comprehensive Kingdom Hearts episode, but it was lost because we had some audio issues. So this is our second Kingdom Hearts. We did one with Melody of Memory. I believe we did one with Melody of Memory.
With the music.
Yeah. The music. So wait. No. Oh, sorry. Then we did two. We did one with an actual Melody of Memory game, right? Or was that the last episode?
No, the Melody of Memories has got to be the OST, right? Like the top 10, top 15 songs.
No, that was last episode, right?
We did OST, but we also did before that a review of
Melody of Memory.
Melody of
when
Memories.
we invited Tonk, I believe.
Yeah.
Let me quickly check.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was Tong's first guest appearance.
Yeah, yes, I believe so, but hold on, let me check. Yes, we did episode. Oh no, hold on. I think it may have been the last episode. I'm looking at it. It looks like that was the last episode. It was supposed to be Melody of Memory, and then we just talked more about Kingdom Hearts. So I guess we only did one. So anyways, so now we're gonna do a Kingdom Hearts episode. It has a special place in all of our hearts, up until Kingdom Hearts 3, where some of us may have ejected it straight out of our hearts. Not gonna say who. May or may not be me. May or may not be IDK. May or may not be Juicy. May or may not be all of us. But I know after Kingdom Hearts 3, at least one member here each quickly ejected Kingdom Hearts out of their heart and was like, "Be gone!" All right, so we're gonna do a tier list. So let me bring it up on the screen. I actually had it shown on the screen earlier, but okay. So let's start off. Actually, how about Juicy? How about you lead us off with this, and then I will just control the monitor here.
Actually, I'm watching the stream, so I don't have the actual tier maker on me.
Ah, okay. Here.
Yeah.
We're using here. I'll send it to you.
No, as in like I can't see the characters.
Oh, you can't see it.
But
okay. All right.
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
All right then.
Don't worry about it.
All right then. I guess I will lead this then. All right. So I'm just gonna go in the order of what it shows me here, so, or the order that's displayed here. And I think we have. Let me see how many characters. I think we probably have 20 or 30 characters. So this is.
Let's. I think we gotta change the tiers.
Okay.
Right. We're not gonna have S A B B C.
Right,
we gotta have
B+.
like.
I'm getting rid of B+.
Yes.
All right, let me see what it looks like on the screen. Okay, all right, I guess that's fine. All right, so let's start off with Demix. We're gonna start with Demix. What tier do you guys believe? So, oh, sorry, one more thing. So, personally, for me, the E tier is going to be the E tier is just going to be characters that don't deserve a rating, if there's going to be any of them. So just for me personally, I don't know about you guys, but if it's a character that I believe deserves a rating, the lowest it will be a D.
Okay.
Is everyone okay with that?
I don't think there's any Fs. Like.
Yeah. So how I'll put DNP did not play.
There's gonna be a heated.
Or how about DNR do not rate? Or shoot. W or NWR not worth rating.
Oh.
Okay, I mean, yeah, that works.
All right. All right. So we'll start with Demix. What do you guys think here?
Demix.
Not worth ratings.
I don't
He
agree
just
with that.
Really? I put him. Oh, that's actually kind of hard. He's not super important, but he always shows up. C tier?
yeah, yeah, I have the same sentiment. Like he just shows up, but I don't know very much about him.
Yeah, he just seems like a character they've put into the series as a placeholder for when he becomes important later, which still hasn't happened yet. Like he's had flashes of brilliance, but I'd say he's a great baseline for a C tier character.
I,
The
I, I, I agree. He's a C tier character. I think they started trying to develop him in Kingdom Hearts 3 when they had
yeah
him be the traitor, when they had him become Vexen's cohort.
yeah
And they teased the fact that he has some connection to the Keyblade.
yeah
So
he's an old
he might be an ancient Keyblade wielder as well. But I think
yeah
C is correct. According to my ranking system, I think he fits a C tier. It's for me. It's mainly because I actually really I like him.
I mean he's pretty chill. He's
I think
funny.
he's pretty chill. All right. Next up, Larxene. What do we think?
Obviously, got to put her in that S tier for sexy.
The only female organization member.
Nah.
Besides
I mean,
Shion.
yeah. Besides Shion, no. I think she's better than Demix, but not by much. Because
Yeah,
she has more development, but again, not by much. Like literally, just the fact we get that cutscene with her in the Keyblade graveyard when she basically gets warped.
hey
Is enough.
Kagros, do you want to talk about your criteria?
Sure. So I do have criteria. So I have 5 criteria: character design, story, personality, roundness, which represents like if they're just one dimensional or not, and then the last one is just Phil's factor, which is just me. Do I want to bump it up one or no? So those are 5. So you see, there's S, A, B, C, D. So
Yeah,
basically,
yeah.
what's the score out of 5? And then I assign it like that. So Demix was a 2. He fit 2 of those those criteria. So he's a C. Larxene though, like I like her character design. I think it is really cool. In the story, she doesn't play a role, even if we consider her old. Kind of like her old in the ancient Keyblade War. When she was a somebody, and she's definitely not a round character. She's just very very one dimensional. And her personality, I think it's consistent. It's consistent, and I think that's another point. So I think she's a 2 out of 5, which puts her as a C tier for me.
Hmm.
Between the two. So I wanted to ask about your criteria because I feel like one criteria I would consider is like potential in future Kingdom Hearts games where they'll be like a relevant character, right?
I think that falls under story.
Unfortunately.
I think that falls under story. So, but
So given that, like Demix versus Larxene,
I
who has
think
more potential?
I think Demix has more potential in my opinion.
Really?
Yes, because Larxene already has a backstory. We literally don't know anything about Demix's backstory. So just by that fact, Demix has more potential because it's not written yet.
You mean we haven't been tickled yet?
Yes, we haven't tickled with Demix yet.
I mean, he could be a false flag too. He could just be a nobody.
He could be, but there are characters that have more potential for being false flags. We are not getting to him in a while. I see him in this first row, but there is definitely one character that could very well be a very big false flag.
See, okay, I could put her in high C, like the tip toppiest of C.
You want to put her in the B tier? You actually want to put her in the B tier?
I want to put her in B tier,
Dude,
but
she's so one-dimensional though. Like she just does one thing. She's just a bitch. That's what she is. She's like, I'm just gonna fuck you up. Like that's her, dude.
but there's more to her though, and we get to actually explore more of it in the games. Like
What games? The mobile games that no one plays?
Chain of Memories, and then in 3.
She's the same. She's the same in Chain of Memories and in 3. Like I think what encapsulates you can tell is like literally her death scene. She's like, I can't believe I was defeated by you twerps. Oh, foiled again. I would have gone away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids. That's literally her death line.
But she hints about reuniting with some other dude.
Yeah, it's Marluxia. We already know who it is. She's actually along for the ride, and it's with Marluxia.
Right.
We already know this. IDK, there's nothing.
I think we all agree that she belongs in the C tier.
Yes, let's
C for sexy.
All right.
But
We'll put her above Demix though. Just you know, IDK. Just because she's a girl doesn't mean she automatically rates high. Okay, you need to give.
That's where you're wrong, son.
Just because she's a girl.
Where you're wrong.
well, you did say that she's the only girl in the organization, so that's got to be some brownie points.
Being a girl is not a personality trait. I'm just saying. All right, that's not how it works.
Anyways,
you know, despite what Twitch might think, that's not how it works.
Okay.
We need more tonk on this stream. We need to balance out the ratio.
All right.
Anyways,
so now we're gonna go to Marluxia. What do we think here?
C tier. I mean, he kind of falls into the same trap as.
I actually think he belongs in the B tier.
Oh really?
What is his weapon?
Scythe, the pink scythe.
It's scythe.
Oh, he's on a B tier. That alone.
I mean, it is pretty cool, and he is kind of an important character.
Unfortunately, so going off my criteria, for me, he has a really great character design. I think he has a really good character design, and he does play a role in the story in that he was basically used by Xehanort in Chain of Memories, like they were anticipating it, and I think his personality kind of makes sense, but my biggest point on why I wouldn't give him the feels factor, which is, I have not granted that to anybody yet. So it's because like we never really understand his motive. I think that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest question mark. Like, why does he want to take over Organization 13? We don't know that. So like that is the big thing. Like I like, is he just power hungry? I don't think so. So I just want to make this point. I think he belongs in the B tier though.
Which means that there's potential, good potential.
Yes, there is still potential because he is an ancient Cupid wielder. We already know this. All right, everyone okay for a B tier for Marluxia?
Yeah.
Just like Demix, he's a good like B level character.
Demix is a C though.
Yeah. Like Demix
like
is a good C character.
I see. Oh, I see.
Marluxia is a good B
example.
character.
I see.
Yeah.
All right, we got Ansem, Seeker of Darkness.
He's hot. He's a hot daddy. I'm gonna say that.
All right. All right. Since everyone's so shy, I would put him in the A tier.
I want to put him in the A tier too. I was just trying to formulate my reasoning besides him being sexy. Like his shirtless version? Woo!
So for me, the reason why in the A tier, So the point that I have to give him, and this is probably also the first. So the only point he's gonna fail me here is probably his I think Phil's fat the roundness. I think he's still a flat one dimensional character, but I have to give him the Phil's factor here, just because of he is his death line to Riku. I
What do you
think
say?
like it's the end of his journey, and then he does feel something when he died. I forgot exactly what he said, but I remember like he's at peace. Like I think I know he tells Riku like what a journey you and I have had, and then he like leaves some parting words for Riku. So I believe I think they closed him out pretty well. I believe he fits in the A tier because he hits everything else.
And he's just so much more involved too with the
Hmm.
story.
Yeah, because like in he also plays a role not just in Kingdom Hearts One, which is his main game. But he also plays a role in Chain of Memories when he is in Riku's story.
Yeah.
IDK, I think IDK has something to say here.
Nope, I agree. A for Ansem.
A for Ansem.
A for Ansem.
A for Ansem. All right, Roxas. What do we? I will go last for this one to avoid swaying the vote. I will go
Mm,
last.
mm,
Roxas.
Roxas. One of the trio, huh? Hmm. Important as a character.
Oh, and remember, and I want to say you guys don't have to use my criteria. This is just my personal criteria. You
Right.
can use your own. You guys should be using your own criteria.
Let's
Hmm.
see if we go by the IDK criteria. He's important to the story. He's got a cool design. He's the main star.
Is he really that cool? Design wise, really?
I mean, not in the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 2. Later on, I think he's dual wielding. Like, and come on, he's in my opinion, I think he's cooler than he's cooler than Sora, at least, and not as whiny, if I remember correctly.
I'm gonna give it to you straight. I'm gonna put him in the A tier, but I think he's on the very low end of A. Like I think Roxas is quite a relevant character, but only for one game, which is the 358 by 2. I think that he's not really relevant in the other games besides his likeness based on another character, and also because of Sora. I think Kingdom Hearts 2 closes him out in a very unsatisfying way in a way. But I guess it makes sense, like just because who he is. But I think like he's a great character in 358 by 2. Don't give don't like I don't want to be mistaken that I hate him, but I just think that he's on a low A.
Yeah, I'd agree. Low A or even high B, like the highest of Bs.
I would put low A only because I know Kagros would give him a S plus. So
All right. Can I talk now? Can I talk now?
go for it.
Go ahead.
Roxas is S tier. Like there's no question about it. He is
There it
S tier. There's no
is.
question about it. He is by far the most well written character in the entire Kingdom Hearts series. You name there. I think there's only one other character that is better well written than Roxas. And this other character, I'm sure you guys should be giving this character S as well. But I believe that he is the best. He is the best, or he's the most rounded character in the entire Kingdom Hearts universe. I don't think there's a better written character in the universe at all.
Shockingly, I agree with you, and I would still give them a low A, just because I think the other main characters that you're comparing him to, I think they're less than an A. I think they're beneath him, um, except for maybe one character, one main character, but I still see him as an A. I don't know. Like he only appears in one game
Nah,
out of the entire series.
he appears in more than one game. Okay, so I guess that's the big thing, right? It's like, oh, he doesn't appear in many games, but I actually, for me, that's not too much of a factor. For me, that's I think I'm rating it slightly different. Like this is for me, it's a character tier list. Ultimately, it's about the characters themselves, and I believe for me, I think he is the definitely the best written character because the writing in 358 had to be good. Like that's my rationale. The writing had to be good because we already knew that what the ending was going to be, right? So they made a character driven story. I think I mentioned this before. So for that reason, like the 358 trio, I think is probably the best written trio. I think the only trio that comes close to them would probably be the Birth by Sleep trio, right? I believe those two pair of trios, like the writing is pretty close, but I give the edge to 358 because I think the writing it was a lot stronger, especially if you dive into the subtext of the right or of how they were written. But it looks like you guys are both on the A, so I will put him in the A tier. That's fine. I just want to say he's the best written character, and I did my best, Roxas. I did my best for you. All right, I'm putting him.
How about put him above Ansem?
Yes.
How about that?
Absolutely. I was going to do it regardless. Because I control the stream.
No.
I think that's a fair point in terms of like character and story. I think that is I think the counter to that is like relevancy, unfortunately. Like you compared the trio, the 358 trio with Birth by Sleep, and I agree that Birth by Sleep, like character development wise, or sorry,
I
characters.
don't
I
really
feel
think
like
they
they're less
develop,
than
though, in Birth by
358.
Sleep. They don't really develop. I
Yeah,
don't think they really develop. Roxas actually develops as a character. Like,
but I want to say that Birth by Sleep is much. I mean, I feel like they're more relevant, at least with Kingdom Hearts 3,
hmm,
unfortunately.
yes, they are. Unfortunately, yes, I have to agree.
So like because of that, I don't know. Yeah, but I still agree. I still agree that
Yeah.
like yeah, they're really good characters.
All right.
Or
Let's go to
358 alone is a very good game.
All right, so let's go to the next one. So I'm noticing multiple Soras on this list.
Yep.
I'm guessing one is like so. The one that's coming up next, I believe, is the 3D Sora. And then we have another Sora, and then we have Data Sora or something like that. I don't know. You guys can see it on the screen here. I don't know how to these three here.
I would say let's just do one of
Oh,
them.
and there's one more
Uh,
Sora down here too. So I don't know if they put like all the different versions of Sora. Let me see if there's another Sora here, like Kingdom Hearts One
I
Sora.
I
4,
assume so.
5. There are literally 5 Soras.
I see 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't see the fifth one. All right. So, anyways, so if that's the case, then I'm putting the other ones. I believe this is Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora. I see a Kingdom Hearts 3 Sora. Maybe this is Kingdom Hearts 2 Sora. No, I don't think so. That the X on his shirt is 3D. Oh no, I know. Oh yeah, I see it now. Yeah, I see the fifth Sora.
Yeah.
So
There's Kingdom Hearts 2, Kingdom Hearts 1, Cyber Sora, 3D Sora.
yeah, all right. So we'll just rank all the Soras as one then. We'll rank all the Soras as one. Let's go to the next one then.
I mean, I was gonna say just put all the Soras in D rank.
No, let's not rate
Just
Sora.
like
Let's
that.
not rate Sora yet. All right. So let's. Who is this guy again? What's his name?
Oh,
D
uh,
tier. His name is D tier.
I mean, to be fair, if we can't even remember a character's name, are they even worth being rated?
No, see, he's definitely starts with a B. No, I keep thinking L, but it's not L.
I thought it was
Oh,
Line.
Lexaeus is his name. Lexaeus.
The guy with the shield.
No, he's the one with the axe sword. He's
Yeah. Axe sword.
But yeah, D tier.
D tier, man. Can't.
Doesn't even speak. Doesn't even get a speaking role in Kingdom Hearts 3.
He's in the D tier for having a dumb name.
Lexaeus. All right.
Yeah.
Ventus.
Mm.
I don't like him. I'm gonna say straight up, I don't like him. I think he defines a pretty good D tier, or a very low C, in my opinion.
I would give him a C, personally.
See, that's where I disagree because the writing in Birth by Sleep was so strong, and he was an important character to it. I would say he's the highest C tier. He can't be a B tier. He's not good enough to be B. But I think he's better than all the other characters in C currently.
Okay, I'm fine with that. All right, Luke Sword.
That's a tough one. Luke Sword is cool. I like his design. Story-wise, he's kinda important. He pops up more often than the other members. But overall, he's still not that big of a player.
All right, so I'm going to throw my ranking out so I can influence here. I put him in the B tier. I would put him... No, in the B. In the B tier.
In the B tier.
In the B tier. Okay. Because, so, remember how we were talking about false flags? This guy could possibly be the biggest false flag. And I really, really liked his death scene in Kingdom Hearts 3. I think it really talks to him as a character. Remember, he also gives Sora the wild card as well.
I mean, he could even be Mom. We don't know.
He could be Mom.
Yeah.
You know, he is a candidate, but in case I'm gonna give a recap here on why he could be a false flag. In the secret ending of Remind, what's his face?
The driver.
Yeah, he's what's that guy's name? Yozora wakes up in the limo, and the person driving the limo is voiced by the same voice actor that is Luke Sword. So people are drawing a connection between these two characters.
Okay, but it's Luke Sword.
And why do you say false flag in that case?
Because he could be a false flag.
Like a red herring? Like
yeah.
I think he's very relevant, unfortunately.
But I mean, I think Remind did. I think Kingdom Hearts 3 really started tickling our balls with Luke Sword's potential. Because that's not the only scene he's in Remind as well. So Kingdom Hearts 3, his death scene definitely hinted at something too. But in the Remind DLC, when he encountered Xigbar, he implied that he knew something about the black box as well. So, for me, I think Luke Sword deserves to be in the D tier. So the 3 points I'm giving him are for character design, story, and I really like his personality. So those are the 3 points I'm giving him because in this, I think he's about to get a huge amount of story. He's about to be relevant, just like what Juicy said.
I got him confused with Xigbar because I was thinking about the last cutscene in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh yeah,
but
let's
that was
not talk about Xigbar yet. I'm talking about Luke Sword here.
Yeah.
I would give him half a point for story and half a point for my bonus factor. So that's a total of 3 points. Because he isn't really relevant in the story, but I think he's about to be pretty relevant in the story. I think they're setting him up to be the counterpoint against Xigbar.
I think Kingdom Hearts 3 is his last appearance in terms of like the current timeline, but I think if we were to have some shitty flashback or whatever, I think he'll be quite relevant So
what do you guys think? B or C?
I put it in B.
All right, the B it
I
is.
think potential wise, like everyone in B at the moment has the potential to be great.
Yes. Do you want to put him up? So we'll put him below Marluxia for IDK because I know IDK want to put him in the C tier.
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay.
That'll work.
All right, young Xehanort.
My personal opinion, put that bad boy in the D tier.
I agree.
I don't like him at all.
Yeah,
I don't like
that little shithead, dude. That
I
little
don't remember.
shithead.
I don't like what he represents for Kingdom Hearts. I don't like that 3D had time travel introduced to Kingdom Hearts, and that he's the main reason for that. It's just really dumb. And I get he's there to tie in to something else, potentially. You know, the whole Kingdom Hearts 3 chess game. Like he's a spin-off of that, but he just rubs me the wrong way. He's just blah.
I agree. All right, send him to the D
Yep.
tier, and I do. And just like how I'm rating these characters, I don't know if you guys noticed, but his death scene in Kingdom Hearts 3, he's just he's like basically when he dies, he says "fuck you." I'm going back to my timeline, but fuck you.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
Yes. All right, but I will put him above Lexaeus because Lexaeus is literally like not even a character.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, our favorite guy, Man Sex. Where does he go?
See, I actually really like this villain. I would want to actually rate him kind of high.
Throw us a letter, Mr. IDK. Influence the vote.
He's not on the level of Ansem. Just FYI.
I don't know. I had to put him probably dead even with Ansem, in my opinion. I really liked his story. I liked the final battle against him with the twin sabers. Maybe maybe high B, low A. Like he's either right next to Ansem or he's right below Ansem.
I would put him either in the A tier below Ansem though, or at the top of the B tier. One or the other is fine with me. Because,
that's right.
like I said, I judge these characters a lot by their death scenes. You haven't noticed, but like in his death scene, in Kingdom Hearts 3, I think like it really embodies him as a character, where he tells Sora, it's like, what does it feel like to feel, and then Sora says some wishy washy thing, and then he's like, right as he fades away, he's like, it must take a lot of strength in order to do that, in order to deal with your emotion or something like that. And I really like this death scene as well. So I would, but that being said, I do think he's quite kind of a flat character. But the thing is, he is a nobody. He has no feelings, so he has to be a flat character.
Yeah,
he's the king of the nobodies, right? He embodies nothingness.
Yeah.
So, and I like his character design. So I'm fine with putting him in the A tier, below Ansem, or at the top of the B tier.
I say put him top of B, in my opinion.
IDK, what say you? Come on, make a decision. I want to move on to the next character.
All right, fine. Put it top of B.
Okay. All right. Now let's move on to our favorite character, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Kairi up on board. Where should we put her?
Put her in S.
I think IDK meant to say C.
Put her in S. Stupid waste of space.
Oh.
No, man. Put her top of D. The worst waste of potential of a character in the series. Literally.
Well, okay. I think worst wasted potential so far. I think she still has a lot of room. Therefore, I'm willing to give her top C.
Line gave us a taste of like what she could have been this entire time. And they were just like, you know what, we're kind of lazy after we did 2 main characters from the original, Destiny Island trio. We're just gonna leave her to sit and rot for most of the series. Like, she's endearing, sure, but only by being the love interest of the 2 main leads, Kingdom Hearts 1, and by being a Princess of Light, and then in 2, I don't know what she's hinted at being a Keyblade wielder, and in 3, it's like, oh yeah, she's finally gonna do her thing, and she gets wiped. Like, just
Yeah, I understand. Now that you mentioned it, like
I'd want to put her in like C for being like a baseline character, but she's worse than a baseline character. She's worse than the characters in C rank.
Yeah, I actually agree with. I was thinking of putting her in the C tier, but then now I think about it, she's not, I don't even see her as a character. She's a plot device.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like she literally,
She's
all she does is get captured and do nothing, and she says, "I'm gonna protect Sora." And what happens next? She gets captured again.
Yeah, like there's literally potential for her to raise the ranks.
She's a plot device. She's not a character. She's not
In
a
the
character.
next games, she's gonna have to be a central character to getting Sora back or doing whatever they're gonna do in that story. But she has to be given more. They've just let her sit there as an empty husk, slowly accumulating like hopes and dreams, and nothing has really happened.
Have a very important question.
What?
How did we rank Akechi pre-royal?
I think
Because
I would have put him. So if we followed this rating, I would probably have put Akechi in the C tier.
Yeah, low
Actually,
C.
no. If I use, hold on, let me take a look at my criteria again. I would put him. Actually, I would have put him in the D tier, straight in the D tier, because the only point I would have given him was for the story. That's what I would give him. I didn't like his character design. He's just like a whiny kid. Oh my gosh, and personality was shit, right? Roundness, he's literally just a one. Like they didn't round, they didn't. He's a one-dimensional character, and the bonus factor, I wouldn't even give it to him either. I would have put him.
he's a plot device, is what I'm trying to compare him to.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that I agree. I agree that Kyrie should belong in D tier, but I have a feeling she's gonna twist that 180. She's gonna be like, I catch you a royal, and be like S tier.
Juicy. The thing with Akechi though is that you literally really I don't really hate Kyrie with a passion, but Akechi, we hated him with a passion, right? This little shithead. Kyrie is I don't when I see Kyrie get captured, I just think, oh, this little shit. I just oh, all right, here we go again. I don't feel anything. I just oh, okay. I expect it to happen, but Akechi, when I see him, I just have, oh, this little shithead. He thinks he's so smart. I was talking to Sunstone about this back when we were playing, Persona 5 Vanilla, and then she was like, God, I hate Akechi so much. He thinks he's so cool with that fucking suitcase. But Akechi was he was a little shithead. Right? He's a shithead. So yeah, I would put Kyrie. I was thinking low C because of her potential. But the thing is, Kyrie has had potential for a long time. She summoned a goddamn Keyblade, I believe, in what game was it?
2,
right? She summoned a Keyblade. I'm oh man, Kyrie has a Keyblade. She's gonna be a Keyblade wielder. And then what does she do in 3? Does nothing. She has a Keyblade and does nothing. She fights for half a battle and then gets captured. What the hell? So
she has an off-screen training arc.
At this point, did you say Kyrie has a huge potential? You're just setting yourself up for some more disappointment at this point.
It has huge potential to be more of a story plot element.
Yes. All right. Anyway, I don't think there's much arguing here. I think we should put him in the D tier, but at the top of the D tier.
Top D. D. Put her up there.
I just wanted to bring up a conversation, but I don't disagree. D for dumb.
All right. This one's might take some time here. Zigbar, what do we think?
I put him in B still. I still think He has a lot of potential, but it's just like he's just a mysterious character in my opinion. Like I don't know his purpose. I think he's just there to represent Nomura, taking their
He is
balls.
Nomura, right?
So
No, he is Nomura.
like I you know I feel like everyone in B has potential, and Zigbar follows that.
IDK.
Yeah, I can see that. I was actually going to argue for. Well, actually, I was going to argue for A before we put Xemnas in B tier.
Be right back.
So, if Xemnas is going to be highest B tier, then yeah, Zigbar has to be right next to him, either above him or below him.
I want to wait
'Cause
for. Let's wait for Juicy to get back because
he's-
I am going to make a case for Zigbar.
Well, I would have put him S tier, but now our criterion has gone so strict.
No. I think you should stick with whatever criteria you want to fit, because I think we can come to a compromise.
I mean, Zigbar's cool.
For the record, I'm about to argue to put him in the A tier.
That's what I thought.
I don't know. I haven't decided whether to put him above or below Ansem yet. Because if I follow strictly my criteria, he's a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, Zigbar is a really good character.
Yeah, I agree.
He's just cool. And they keep adding more and more to him.
All right, Juicy, you ready? You ready for
So,
my turn?
hey.
You ready? You ready for my soapbox? My soapbox. I'm gonna get on the
Go for
soapbox and start selling Zigbar. All right, I think Zigbar deserves to be put in the A tier. Of my criteria, he fits 4 of them. I think he has a great character design. He's about to become very relevant to the story. And he's definitely a round character. I think with the revelation of who he really is. Let me also do one more thing. I'm gonna put the spoiler tag, even though on, just for the hell of where the hell's the spoiler? Ah, shoot, can't even see it. Anyways, so I think that not only does he have potential, but with the revelation of who he really is, it really adds additional roundness to his character. Because for most of it, even from his introduction in Birth by Sleep, you would have assumed that his main goal was to get a Keyblade. But now, we know that his actual goal was to make sure the Keyblade came back to its owner. So he wasn't just some power hungry guy aiming for more power. He actually had a role, right? He actually had a role since basically the start of this whole series. I think it adds around his character. For that reason, he checks off basically everything. He's a 4 out of 5. He's a 4 out of 5 for me. I believe he deserves in the A tier. First of all, his character design, just like IDK had just mentioned, I really, really like his character design. It's really cool. Arrow guns, if they didn't censor him, he would have had a sniper rifle too. Right?
I think the eye patch alone gives them 2 points.
and I really like his personality because I've always thought that his wisecrack, his dry humor, and making fun of Sora all the time. I really, really liked his personality. And even then, even with that kind of personality in 358, he was still he showed some degree of kindness to Shion and Roxas as well. So he wasn't just a complete. He pet the dog. That's what he did. So for me, I think Zigbar is a great character. He's mysterious, and we knew he was mysterious from the get-go because before they revealed what his true role was, my crackpot theory was that he was actually the Master of Masters because of the mannerisms, and ended up I was on the right track. We were on the right track. Just guessed the wrong character, but yeah. So that's my case for putting him in the A tier. I actually think at this point I think he should be put above Ansem.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that.
Do it.
All right. Thank you for listening to my speech.
I think his relevancy makes him at least that high, but I really don't know of his personality, so that's why I thought he would be just a B tier.
I think that for most of the series up until Kingdom Hearts 3, he was a pretty one-dimensional character. Like literally, his personality is "I want a Keyblade." That was introduced in Birth by Sleep. That you thought that was his main goal, but now it's not so much. And like, I think in Kingdom Hearts 2 and in 358, you didn't really know like what his motivations were and what side he was really on.
Mm-hmm.
So, I do think he is I think he's a really good character, and I'm glad that they picked him to be the relevant one, moving forward into the future. I've always liked his character design though, even from when introduced in 2. There is one other character design I really liked in Kingdom Hearts 2, but we'll get to that later when we get to them. All right, we're gonna move on. We have the next two are gonna be in IDK's wheelhouse because they are his favorite trio. We got Terra, IDK. What do you think? Let's start with the expert.
I say Terra should be at bottom of B.
Mm.
And I think it's because story-wise, he's pretty important. There's a lot of things that revolve around him. But as a part of the trio, he's kind of boring to me. He's very sort of just straightforward. It's his character design. He's supposed to be straightforward. He's kind of like Muscle. You know, he does one thing and he does really well, and that's cause accidents. And
all right, hold up. On a character tier list, where would you put Anakin Skywalker?
Which one? Like episode
1 to 3.
2 and 3?
One to 3.
I think they're a little different. I mean, it's a weird conversation to be had, but
I actually think there's a lot of similarities between. Actually, we should say episodes 2 and 3. I think there's a lot of similarities between Terra and Anakin.
I mean, if we're doing Anakin, then I'd probably put him still B tier, mid or upper, because of what he transforms into. Like,
I mean, I think we can include episode 4 to 6 because it kind of makes sense too, right? You know who Terra transforms to, right?
well, sure, but it's yeah. I guess I put him mid B, better than Marluxia, maybe better than Semnis, maybe not.
I think with that comparison, like I really did not like Anakin Skywalker because he's just obviously we know who he becomes, but then he just gets manipulated, and that's who he is.
I think the difference between Anakin and Terra, I do think they're very similar characters. Like both of them were rejected, and that's why they turned to the darkness. Like Terra gets basically he gets not through any fault of his own. It was through Xehanort. He fails the exam, and then he starts to resent it. Like, why come I didn't become the master? I think their motivations are the same, or the basic motivation is the same. But unlike Anakin, who was very selfish, right? Ultimately, Terra just wanted to protect his friends, right? So I think that's kind of the key difference between the two of them. But that being said, I agree with IDK. I think he should be put in the B tier, but I think he should be put underneath Mansex.
Yeah, that's where I put him.
Yeah, I agree that he belongs in the B tier. I do think he's better than Ventus for sure. Like in my trio ranking, he's number 2.
Ventus is always bottom. I don't know anyone who actually likes that guy.
All right, IDK.
Do you even have to ask what rating I would?
IDK wants to put Aqua in the S tier. All right, so let's put that aside. Juicy, what do you think about Aqua?
She's in low A tier.
I'm okay with putting her in the A tier as well. But before we do that, all right, IDK, the soapbox is yours.
Juice us up.
Okay, so the reason why I would put her in S tier is because she's the only one that actually becomes a master of the Keyblade. She's hot.
No.
She has to go through hell to try to save her friends. She's stuck in the darkness for years before anyone can actually come to rescue her.
She almost technically had her own game.
Yeah, she almost technically had her own
technically.
Point 2.
You mean Kingdom Hearts 0.9?
Kingdom Hearts 3 prologue, basically.
2.8.
She's pretty well fleshed out. story-wise. She really cares for Ventus and Terra. She's just trying to protect them as part of the whole trilogy of stories. And she's the most mature out of the trio. She's the motherly character, She's the one that's trying to keep their group together, while also unraveling what the heck's going on. She's a very appealing character out of the three. And I think she's better than the other Well, I personally prefer her over the other candidates in the A tier for the S tier.
Okay.
But that's just personal favorite.
All right. So now we're gonna have a little discussion. So I believe I think she should be in the A tier, but I think she deserves to be under Roxas. So let me ask you a question. Do you think she has any character development? Like, what's her character development, or do you think she's still the same from basically, or she's basically kind of remains the same throughout most of the game?
I would concede that point. Yes, her character doesn't change dramatically from the beginning of her being.
Like I understand. Aqua got Norded. Aqua got Norded.
Birth by Sleep Aqua, beginning of the game versus end of the game, isn't very different. And Aqua we get in Kingdom Hearts 3, even at point 2, she doesn't change very much. We literally just have the fact that she's been tested by being in the darkness for so long.
Yes.
When she gets reunited with Terra again finally and Ventus, she's so happy, and it's like she went through a lot, but it didn't really change her very much. She was sort of like the stone in the river of time, and she's just being worn away. But who she actually is as a person didn't really change. So if you're going to argue the point that Roxas is a more better character because he actually did change, I will give you that. Yeah, she's not better than Roxas. Is she better than Zigbar, though?
So I personally think so. The reason why I said no A is just because I have a soft spot for Ansem, but I'm pretty biased with Ansem personally. But I do think that Zigbar is better than her based on just who Zigbar represents for the story as a whole. I think Aqua had a pretty good story leading up to Kingdom Hearts 3, and I'm glad that they closed out her story in Birth by Sleep Trio. She is the Kairi that we needed. And I think for that she deserves to be in the A tier.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I should have said she is the strongest female character we have in the entire series.
IDK, she is the only female character we have in the Kingdom Hearts series.
I mean, we have others, but she's the strongest.
Yeah. No. She's the only female character. She's the only one. Everyone else is a plot device, or they're just, and I'm just kidding. But Aqua is definitely the best female character, but there's not that many candidates to begin with. I think we mentioned this before in the past. I personally would put her under Zigbar, but above Ansem, just like what Juicy said. But out of respect for IDK, I'm okay with putting her above Zigbar, because if it has at least one S tier ranking, I believe it should be up there. It should be up higher.
Yeah, I'd want that.
Okay. All right, IDK. We'll give it to you.
Yes.
We'll give it to you. Ultimately, she doesn't change much, but I still think the writing for her character is really good, especially with how she was forced into the darkness. And I think the motivation for her falling into darkness really makes a lot of sense. When she got Norded, right? I think that does make a lot of sense. Yeah. And then when she talks to, I think one of my favorite moments of Aqua is when she's sitting on the Dark Horizon. I forgot, Blank Horizon, and talking to Ansem, Seeker of Knowledge. I think that's one of my favorite scenes in the game as well.
Yeah.
All right,
fellas, what do you think about this? Why don't we move Roxas and Aqua to S tier? because I think they're pretty good. I think they belong in the S tier.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
I mean, we can, but let me ask you this: is there any other character on this list do you think could be an S tier?
There is one more.
Oh yes,
There is one more.
absolutely one more.
There's at least one, right?
Yes, there's at least one. There's at
So-
least one. But so I already know for Juicy it's gonna be Donald Duck. I already know it's gonna be Donald Duck.
You got it wrong. You got it very wrong.
The only person since we're preemptively talking about it that I can see is probably Mickey. Actually, no. I see one more. I see one more. But I think the candidates right now for me are going to be Donald or Mickey, and then the third candidate, which I'm not going to say, but I think it should be quite obvious who it is, because I think this character is probably the most favorite character in all of the Kingdom Hearts. This is the most popular character, pretty sure.
But anyways, I still thinking about it now, I look at this tier maker, and I think Roxas and Aqua should be in the S tier. Just the fact, how passionate, Kagros and IDK are with those two characters. There's got to be something there.
Do you know what I think is going on? You know what I think is going on right now? I think Juicy is trying to buy a vote. Is trying to buy votes for what the person that when he says is like S tier. He's trying to buy votes. He's trying to buy the votes now.
No.
He's like, I put your guys' character in S tier. My character deserves to put in S tier for that reason. I see your game.
Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. But okay, we can go on. I'm just saying. I'm just proposing here.
No, I think we should leave it now, and then we can do some adjustments at the end.
Yeah.
Sure thing.
But I do appreciate the notion, Juicy.
Yes.
I do appreciate the notion.
Just a proposal, because I think they're quite worthy of characters to be in the S tier. Is all I'm saying.
I agree.
Yeah,
100%.
I agree too.
I'll go for life.
Juicy is tickling our ball. He's like, all right, you guys want it? Just gotta give me a little something too. Anyways, let's go on to the next one.
You gotta take a mine.
Riku.
Which version is this?
Just Riku in general.
Oh.
Just go Riku in general.
Oh.
I see 3 Rikus here.
Yeah. There's
I would put him towards the end. In terms of ranking him, just with Sora.
Okay.
If possible.
All right, sure, that's fine. Yeah, we'll move into the end. All right, so this one I'll move. And so there's 2 Rikus. One of them is going to be the regular Riku. The other one is a Riku in the coat. But I'm going to substitute that and say the Riku in the coat is going to be Riku replica. Are we okay with that?
Okay.
All right.
That's probably who it is, but yeah.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not. It's that one is, I believe, young Riku. But
Riku at the very end.
We're gonna replace it. Here, I'll show it on the screen. You guys can see it, right? This is the other Riku.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is not actually Riku replica. I don't see Riku replica here, but we're gonna assume this is Riku replica just for the heck of it. So I'll put it back.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah. Because the young Riku, basically the one of the 13 Hearts of Darkness. That's it, and it's basically an older version of Riku, I believe. Is it? Oh no! Oh, sorry. No, that is Riku replica. It is Riku replica. I got it mixed up. It is Riku replica.
That's it. I'm pretty sure
because that Riku replica is an older version. Yeah, that's right. It is Riku replica. That is correct. Anyways, let's go on to the next one. Zaldin.
Beauty and the Beast Spears guy.
So D tier, but so this is the other character design I really liked from Kingdom Hearts 2. I really liked his 6 spears and commanding the wind to use 6 spears. I really liked his character design a lot. But that's the only thing I like about him. He's a one-note character. And just like his buddy Alexeus, he gets no speaking lines in Kingdom Hearts 3.
I'm going to quickly walk away to get some water, but I wholeheartedly agree, and that's why I'm walking away.
So which tier?
D, bottom. Above Alexeus, though.
Above Luxeus. Yeah, I agree.
All right. Now the next one. This is going to be... I think this one's going to be difficult. Ericus.
Oh, Master Ericus. Hmm.
What's his backstory?
He is Xehanort's friend. They went to Keyblade school together. They trained as Keyblade wielders together. So I'm actually gonna do something controversial here. I think he belongs in the D tier. I think his personality, based off what we've seen so far, his personality. I mean, I haven't played Dark Road, so I don't think any of us know anything about Dark Road. But like, he's just like the strict Keyblade master. That's all he is, really. Birth by sleep, and he gets wrecked by Terra, and then finished off by Xehanort.
Oh, sorry, him. Um.
I
Uh,
I probably put him. I put him below Kyrie.
yeah, he's not really a character.
But I have to kind of
He does
disagree
have
because
potential, though. He has potential.
he has potential. He has a cool design. His voice actor is literally Luke Skywalker. So he's got a strong VA, and he's a motherfucking Keyblade master from like the old era. And he's like the Avatar of Light. He gets struck down by his own student. It's like a tragic. It is this tragedy.
Okay, that sounds like a plot device.
Yeah, he sounds like a plot device, but he's better than Kyrie as a plot device, though.
This is true. This is true.
I would see him being the lowest of C's, just barely escaping D rank.
Better than Kyrie.
Better than Kyrie.
I would still put him in the D, at the top of the D. I actually don't think he has much potential anymore. I think his story is done with Xehanort's story. Only potential he has left now is Dark Road, in my opinion. Like, we will not see him again unless we see Xehanort again.
Right, but Xehanort does say that. Well, was it Xehanort or was it Eriquest that said we're going to play a new game?
It was Ericus, I believe. It was Ericus.
And this is just taking into consideration old Eriquest. Like, we haven't seen young Eriquest yet. You know, if we're going to have time travel shenanigans with young Xehanort, you better believe your butt young Eriquest is going to show up too. That's why I say he's
Juicy,
the bottom
you're the
of the
tiebreaker here. Bottom of C or top of D?
Bottom of C.
I'm a little torn because I remember this fun fact that he's a anagram of, or not
Square.
anagram. He's
Square,
an anagram
yes.
of square.
Yes.
So I think that's pretty cool.
You guys just digging for trivia right now. We're talking about the character.
I think he's a D tier.
All right, so we'll put him at the top of the D. I was actually going to put him lower, but that's fine. I don't think he really is much of a character. All right, our good friend. What's his name? Fuck. Zexion. Or Ienzo.
Ienzo. I barely remember this guy.
He actually plays a pretty big role in Kingdom Hearts 3 behind the scenes. They expanded his role from Chain of Memories. That being said, I still believe he belongs in the C tier. I do think he's at the bottom of the C because he doesn't really have much potential now. But he does have a bigger story role than definitely Eric is. He's like the researcher, the child prodigy.
Isn't he just a right-hand man? It's Ansem?
Yes, but he was actively helping them before Ansem came back. I don't know. I think he's. I don't think he deserves to be in the D tier. I think he should be in the bottom of the C tier, especially if we're playing.
But I think that's all he is, though. Him being Ienzo now, he's just a right-hand man to Ansem, and he's gonna say like, "Oh, I found this little tool for you in the lab," or like, "Oh, I analyzed this." That's it. There's like nothing else to him. Even the fairy godmother's more OP than him.
Do you know what he does? Do you know his power?
No, in terms of him, for Ienzo and story-wise, I think I'm just comparing him with Fairy Godmother, and Fairy Godmother has a lot of potential, surprisingly.
She got a lot of potential because she's a Disney character. That's why you can't recycle those, man. Unless your name is Tarzan.
Hey man, if she went up to the clouds, she OP.
IDK, what do you think? C or D? It's up to you.
Doesn't he technically help Nominee get a body?
Yes, that is correct.
So he's technically important.
So
I
Nominee on this list?
So I would no, she's not, which is weird.
Wow,
So
she's not on this list. What the hell?
It's unfortunate.
That's
Because she's
unfortunate.
a plot device.
She is,
Yeah,
but she's
probably-
a better plot device than Kyrie. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
she'd probably be top of D or very bottom of C, along with this guy. Just put him bottom of C.
Okay.
Just leave him there. If we have to adjust him down further, we can.
All
No
right,
harm.
it's my boy, Axel. Got it memorized. What say you?
Mm,
I'm gonna say that he's top of B tier, and I'm gonna say this is very unfortunate that he's there. I wish he had more of a role in Kingdom Hearts 3. Very unfortunate. Very cool character design. The best one out of Organization 13. You're like, you meet him in Kingdom Hearts 2 at the very first, 4 hours that you play. You're like, oh my god, like, he's so cool. Is he gonna come back? And he does. He makes a few appearances
you would have
and that's
seen him if
about
you played
it.
Chain of Memories already.
That's true. But in like, the main series, in a way, like seeing him in 3D, like for your first time playing the PlayStation 2 for Kingdom Hearts 2, and
I think it would have
he's
hit you a lot harder if you
top
played
B.
Chain of Memories, because you knew what Axel did in
I
Chain of
did.
Memories.
I played Chain of Memories before too.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
my question is he better than Ansem?
Who are you asking? You asking me? Or you asking Juicy? Or are you asking both
Well,
of us?
I'm asking both of you. And I know you both have your biases, but that's my
I think
main
he's.
question. Is
I
he
think he's
better
top.
than Ansem? Is he better than the main villain of Kingdom Hearts 1?
This is what I'm
Story-wise,
gonna say.
character design-wise?
He's top B, low A. He's a very fine line, in my opinion. And I don't know what Kagros thinks. Maybe he should be like top A, and if so, I'd love to learn why.
All right. Can I talk now, guys? I'm ready. All right. So Axel, S tier for sure. This is another one of my S tiers. So I think I mentioned when I talked to Rox, I said there was only one other character who had got more character development, and the only one it could be at that point is Axel for sure. Axel for sure. He changes so much in the series, like from Chain of Memories, right? He's this assassin that deals with traitors, and we saw how many people he killed. He basically was there to ensure that everyone at Castle Oblivion was going to get wiped out. Like, he and Sayax had that secret mission going on to basically wipe out everybody at Castle Oblivion. Right? So he goes from this cutthroat guy, and then you play 358, and then he starts to get, he starts to develop actual, like, feelings, right? He starts to, and then after that, in Kingdom Hearts 2, basically his entire... So we went from someone whose goal is to wipe out people in the organization to further his own gains, to, in Kingdom Hearts 2, the only thing he wants now is to get Roxas back. He wants to get his friend back. And then literally his death scene in Kingdom Hearts 2 says, like, he's the only one that made me feel like I had a heart, right? Like, that's literally... So his motivation complete change from Chain of Memories to Kingdom Hearts 2, and we see why in Kingdom Hearts 3 when he talks to Sayax at the top of the tower before the battle, right? Because basically, before in Chain of Memories, his friend, his main motivation was his friend was friendship with Sayax. But then between in 358, it changes from Sayax to Roxas, and they do close out his story, and maybe we don't know, we'll see him back, but I think that he has the most character. I think besides Roxas, him and Roxas probably have the most developed character stories throughout all of the Kingdom Hearts games. And I do agree with you, it is a shame that we didn't see him kick ass in Kingdom Hearts 3, but he still had story in Kingdom Hearts 3, especially when it's. Oh, yeah, so I guess there is potential because there's that mysterious girl, him and Sai, and then it gets revealed that him and Sayax's ultimate goal was to find out what happened to that girl in in Radiant Garden, the one that Ansem was performing. No, I don't know. Remember, but she was being performed on. So for that reason, I also propose that he be put in the S tier.
Yeah, you have a good point. I just think when people start calling him Lee, I don't know when that happened,
Mm-hmm.
but like he didn't really develop afterwards.
Well, so also since you guys do some trivia, I'm also gonna throw some more trivia out for you guys. So Axel was actually supposed to be killed off in Chain of Memories. He was supposed to just die in Chain of Memories, but um, the developers really liked him as a character, so they kept him for Kingdom Hearts 2. In Kingdom Hearts 2, he was supposed to be killed off by Roxas when they fight.
And he was sort of killed off.
No, but he was supposed to die there. Like he was supposed to come back. He was supposed to be killed by Roxas at the beginning of the story. Roxas was supposed to kill him, but the developers really liked him, so they decided to keep him in the game, and then gave him his second death. They killed him again. they actually killed him off finally, and
his character design is really good.
And we all know Axel is definitely the fan favorite in this game. Like, he literally says a line in the game, like, don't you know? I got tons of people rooting for me. He breaks the fourth wall. I'm just saying.
Okay, you've convinced me just because of how strong of a character design he has, based on that trivia. So I'll put him in A, for sure.
So there's no question he should be an A, but, I just want to make
when you say S tier,
I think at
you
this
say
point
that he's better than Roxas.
At this point, I don't think there's an S tier. We'll readjust our tier after this, because I'm really interested to see what Juicy's S tier candidate is going to be. It's Donald Duck. I already know.
I don't have one. I'm just saying, just move Roxas and Aqua to S tier, and then we can have a proper tier maker, a tier list.
All right. Anyways,
so at this point,
we need to put Axel somewhere though.
I think at this point, like is he above Aqua?
So like
yeah. As Aqua fan supreme, I will say Axel is better than Aqua.
All right. Well, I'll put him above Aqua, but below Roxas. Thank you,
fellas. Just put the top 3 in S. I don't understand.
all right, fine.
Yellow, red, and blue, baby.
All right. Hopefully, we'll get Juicy's character up there. If it is Donald Duck, I will fully support Donald Duck in the S tier. Just saying.
It's gotta be Goofy. Come on,
Goofy.
I'm not gonna spoil anything yet.
Yeah, let's get to it. All right, Maleficent. I'm gonna front run this. I believe she belongs in the B tier. She's a persistent villain, but unfortunately, she didn't. Just like with Axel's problem is that she didn't really play a big role in Kingdom Hearts 3. Like, she actually didn't really do anything in Kingdom Hearts other than look for the black box. Like, we don't even fight her in Kingdom Hearts 3, unlike the previous games. But besides Kingdom Hearts 3, she was, a consistent threat from the Disney side in all the games. for that reason, I believe she should be put in the B tier.
Where in B tier?
I would put her right below Mansex, in my opinion.
Yes, I agree. So above Terra.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wholeheartedly agree.
I'll give her that. I was gonna say maybe a little lower, but she is pretty important in the earlier games. And I think in 3 it was. I don't know what they were smoking. They just decided to have her be hinted at.
Yeah, no, they should have used her more in 3. I think it was a shame.
Should have had a
I think she's a great character. I think
Yeah.
she's a perfect Disney fit in Kingdom Hearts for right.
Yeah.
All right, Mickey, King Mickey. I'm also gonna front run this discussion. I'm gonna say that he belongs in the A tier, right below but below Ansem. Because Mickey is Mickey.
Yep.
We know who he is, and his character has always been the same, throughout the game, and they just gave him a Keyblade, and and the powerful time magic. I think Mickey belongs in the A tier. I think he's a very consistent character design. There's not much character development in him. He's just Mickey because Disney. You can't have character development for Mickey because Mickey's Mickey.
He's clutch. He's the clutch maker.
Yeah.
In this game,
I'm
literally,
very
like when
glad
they're about to die.
I'm very glad they paired Mickey with Riku. I think it's a great combination.
Yeah. I agree with that.
IDK, any thoughts?
No, I agree. I was thinking about all the times when he shows up.
He shows up in every game.
Yeah, every game plays an important role.
The reason why Mickey isn't higher is because he didn't fucking save Aqua.
That bastard.
Son of a bitch.
That rat bastard.
He left her. He left her in Mauschwitz.
Yes. All right, Vanitas. Vanitas.
Vanitas. I really like the design. He was pretty cool, but I'm sort of ambivalent about him now. Maybe this is gonna be a hot take. Maybe he should be above Ven in C tier.
I was thinking the same thing.
Really? You guys like Vanitas over Ven?
I like Vanitas over Ven.
Yeah,
If Ven is
absolutely.
a cookie cutter Boy Scout, Vanitas is like his dark side unleashed, which is literally what he is.
At the top of the C tier, then?
Yeah, top of C tier.
All right, fine with that.
Yeah, he's just important enough to be there as a baseline character, but not enough for me to like him more.
All right, Riku replica. Where are we putting him? I have a lot to say about him, so I'll go last.
I'm very biased. I don't like him. You go ahead.
Riku replica. Where would I put this guy? He's pretty important in a certain part of the story. And he stays relevant till the end of Kingdom Hearts 3. But I didn't really care for him that much. So, yeah, I'd have to put him C tier. But above, yeah, at the top of C tier.
So I'm going to counter this, and based on my criteria, I believe that he belongs in the B tier. So definitely my favorite character coming out of Chain of Memories. Riku Replica was my favorite character after playing Chain of Memories for the first time, because I really like the fact that I'm just a fake and I just want to become real. I think he had really good motivations to do what he did. And he was basically like a doll that got fucked with until it broke him, basically. And like despite everything that happened to him after losing to Riku, right? He actually goes into Riku's heart, and then in Kingdom Hearts 3, he has a change of heart. Like like he's just like I don't, and then Riku offers him a body, and then he's like I don't want a body. Like like the world has you, it doesn't need me. I'm just a copy, right? And then he just disappears and leaves the body for Naminé, who he had, even though it was a fake memory, who he had sworn to protect. So for me, the three things that it fits is I really like the character design, I really like his personality, and basically he is also he has character development, very clear, obvious character development. So he does fit 3 of the 5 criteria for me. So I definitely So for me, I would put him in the B tier. But like I said,
I think what bothers me is that his story is his own story. Like he doesn't really impact anyone else, maybe besides Riku. But then like like you said, like I think it's very touching when he says like, yeah, this world already has you, so I don't have to be here. And that's cool and all, but like
so
I don't know, he's just
I think he belongs in the B tier, but I'm fine with putting him at the C tier as long as it's at the top of it. Above Vanitas.
I agree with that.
Okay. Alright. Now we're gonna get into some heated discussions here. We're gonna start with Goofy. Goofy!
You fellas think that Donald Duck is S tier? No. Goofy is the S tier. And you know why? Because he tells you the entire story in Kingdom Hearts 3. He is the most intelligent character probably in the series.
Wait, he does?
Yeah, he does. I don't remember which line, but he's just explaining like what the heartless and like the nobody and all this like terminology is, and it's just so funny just because it's coming from Goofy.
I think Juicy has been watching too much Pro ZD.
No.
I think he's watching too much Pro ZD. He's been listening to the Pro ZD's goofy version of the songs.
No, I'll give you this. If Goofy wasn't intelligent in Kingdom Hearts 3, he'd be bottom tier. But he's very rational, surprisingly, being a Goofy character in Kingdom Hearts 3. Okay, jokes aside. I don't know.
I think Goofy belongs in low A below
He's
Mickey.
Just a sidekick.
Low A below Mickey, or even down in the B tier, in my opinion.
I think my problem with Goofy is I would want to place him only after we place Sora, because I think he's below Sora.
Ooh.
He's at the same. He's at wherever we place Sora, Goofy goes.
All right, so I will move Goofy to the end. Let me also move Sora to the end. So let's go to, how about Donald Duck then? Donald Duck, I think, is an easy A tier. Easy A tier. Probably below Mickey though.
Yeah, in terms of trio, Donald is top tier. So
yeah, I agree.
So above Mickey.
No, he's not above Mickey though.
Below Mickey.
Yeah, he's below Mickey.
Okay.
It's just OP, dude. It's so
there's no discussion that needs to be done here. Zeta Flare is all you need to know. The selfless sacrifice to save his friends.
Although he's pretty stupid sometimes.
Yes, because he never heals
gameplay wise. Pretty stupid.
Donald, heal me! Ah.
All right, Shion.
I mean,
I have no right to talk about her. Go ahead, Kagros.
You're just gonna let me talk, huh? You're just gonna let me do this, okay? So actually, I don't think Shion belongs in the S tier or in the A tier because she is just limited to just one game. So if anything, I would put her in the B tier though. Just like I said, strong writing through 58. She's a 358 character, so just by that facet, she is a very strong character. Very willingly sacrifices herself to because she doesn't want to play into Xemnas' plan because she knows she's actually she's being used by Xemnas, so she chooses, you know, chooses to get killed. And then, but besides that, she's not really. She is also another plot device, kind of she's a plot device in Kingdom Hearts 3. Like all of a sudden Shion shows up, like what is she doing? Why is she with it? Like it didn't make any sense. I even for a Shion fan like me, I'm like, what is she doing here? Like how did she get here? So I think Shion probably belongs in the B tier. Just not like I don't actually really like her character design, and I actually don't really doesn't really play that much role in the story. But I really like her personality. She gets the bonus point from me, and she's not a one-dimensional character. She's got feelings. So for me, that's a B for me.
So then, where in B would you place her? Because I agree. I agree with all your points. But is she... Okay, my question is she better or worse than Terra?
That's what I was thinking. I'm trying to think here.
Oh, I thought it was the easy choice. I was gonna say like whether she was top B or
No. She
Maleficent.
cannot be better than Mansex or Maleficent. Definitely not. Those two are, those two are too prevalent in the series. There's no way. I would probably put her above Terra though.
That's where I was placing her.
Yeah,
okay.
Me too.
Man, if I put her in the S tier, my brains become absolutely invalidated. That's just fanboy for sure. That's 358 fanboying for sure. Nah, she's not an S tier. All right, I'm not. I'm objective. I can be objective.
Okay.
I mean,
I really thought you were gonna say S tier.
Yeah, no, hell no.
You got 2 out of the 3 of your 358 trio in the S tier. Come on.
No way, all 3 of them are in the S tier, dude. No way. Like, if that was true, then 350. It could have only been done if Shion had played a much bigger role in 358 or no in Kingdom Hearts 3. The 358 trio got snubbed in Kingdom Hearts 3. I'll tell you that. They got snubbed hard.
Yeah.
All right, so we got this weird boy here, Vexen. I noticed another Axel here, so this is going away. Vexen. I would put him at the bottom of C. He very clearly shows remorse for, unfortunately he's only in Chain of Memories and in 3, but he's the one that actively apologizes for everything that he did, and I think they tried to give him a bigger role in 3 because of how much he's literally the first Ordination member to get killed off. But he expresses remorse at what he's done, and he's the first one to basically work with the good guys. And then before we find out that Syax was secretly helping him as well. But I believe that Vexen.
So do we put him above Syax?
Dude, why the fuck is Syax not on this list? He's not here either. All right.
Oh, shit, that's right. Wait. Who's the guy we have currently at the bottom of C?
Zexion.
Yeah, Zexion. We put him above Zexion.
I would put him right above him. It's somewhere down here, though. Or I'm fine with putting him below him, though. Can I add another? I can't.
No, can't.
Too bad.
All right, we're gonna use this Cybersora as Syax. I wish I could add one.
We also need Nominee in here as well.
Yeah.
All right. How about we'll use this Cybersora, and it looks like there's the Lingering Will here. We'll use Lingering Will as Syax. I think it fits Syax better. Anyways, Vexen.
Put him at the bottom of C.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no input on him.
All right. Syax next. Actually, here's what I can do. Let me, while you guys decide on Syax, I am going to pull up Syax.
I can't really speak to Syax as well.
All right, so IDK, do you have anything you want to talk about Syax?
I mean, in my opinion, Syax has always been sort of the unfortunate shadow to Axel's light. Like, for all the development Axel gets, Syax kind of like sits in the shadow. If we're going to put Axel in S tier, then I think Syax is going to have to be at the bottom of B. Maybe top of C. He just doesn't have as much of an impact as a character on me. But he's important. He's part of that duo. He's important to Axel. He's important to some other characters too, but he's just not important enough.
So Syax does play a role in 58 as one of the antagonists.
Yeah.
I do think that I think Syax was even more unfortunate in Kingdom Hearts 3 because they didn't actually show how actively he was trying to help Axel. Actually, he was actually working with Vexen to sabotage the 13 Secrets of Darkness, and I wish it showed more of that. Like, they were trying to give him the role of, like, is there a Fire Emblem character that I can think of? I think this is a Fire Emblem archetype where basically they're working for the enemy, but they sympathize with the, with the heroes, right? Like they're one of those guys. Like I want to say, like, I know Selena is a good from Sacred Stones. Is there another person from? It's also Gale from Fire Emblem 6. I don't know the name. I don't remember the name of the archetype, but there is a name for this in Fire Emblem. But basically, it's an enemy unit who sympathizes with the player's team. I think they were trying to make Syax fit that role, but they didn't do a really good job at it. So I do think he does. I do think he does deserve to be in the B tier though, because he's a 3 out of 5 for me as well.
Which is say low B.
I would actually put him below Lou Short, to be honest. Right at the bottom of B.
That's where I put him.
Okay, let me adjust this. All right, so you can't see it. You can see on the stream. I create a Syax icon. I will also.
Looks good.
What?
Yeah. It looks good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Syax is right there. All right. Now the next one. Our boy Pete.
Petey boy.
I
really like him in the black and white world. He's pretty cool in that one.
Yeah.
I think he's top tier D.
Hey man, he's a cool mini boss in Hades.
I think he belongs in the C tier at the bottom, somewhere in the bottom C tier.
Wow, I'm so generous,
dude. He's comic relief, man. All he does is just mess up.
Well, isn't Kairi comic relief?
Kairi is nothing.
Kairi is Sora bait. Wherever Kairi is, Sora always goes to. Yeah, I gotta put my boy Pete at the bottom of seats here. Yeah, he has potential. He really didn't get much to do in 3. I feel like they'll have more for him to do later on.
Yeah.
And it's always fun when you have a Pete mini boss battle.
He's also a recurring character, unlike Kairi. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Gotta have a Mickey Mouse villain there, you know? The Mickey Mouse villain.
All right. So our next one. Master Xehanort,
Masters.
the big bad.
Oh, this one's tough because like
This one is bittersweet.
if we're this one is like if we had managed to keep the same voice actor for the entire series,
Oh
he would
yeah.
definitely be like high A for me because I loved Leonard Nimoy
Yep.
as him.
I agree.
But the fact that Leonard Nimoy passed, unfortunately, and then we got this Mexican guy in there, the Spaniard dude, who did a fine job. He did the best he could, but like really lowered the gravitas of
Yes,
that
I
character.
agree.
Like
I agree.
it wasn't conniving or scheming anymore. He was just like royalty. Like, oh, he's powerful. So
I think he belongs
would-
in the A tier, though. I think he belongs in the A
yeah,
tier.
yeah, I think he belongs in A, but where in A?
At the bottom of A.
Is he below Donald or below Mickey?
I think he's below Donald.
Below Donald? Oh,
I
that's
don't
so
want to fall in the
painful,
trap
though.
of ranking him high just because he's the main villain. But
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
right, so but I do believe that he does belong. He does belong in the A tier, but I do think he belongs at the bottom of it. He has no more potential. His story is done. And I actually, the problem is we have Ansem up there, but I think Ansem. The thing with Ansem is that I believe that I don't know. I don't think Master Xehanort really changes in the story. He's just an old man who just wants, basically, by the time he is Master Xehanort, all he wants to do is, bring darkness to the world because he wants to balance out the light and the dark because his motivation is that he believes the light's gone too strong. So all he wants to do is just bring darkness. And he doesn't really change. He doesn't actually show, the only thing that happens at the end is that, he gets beat by Sora, then he sees Ericus, and then he's like, all right. Ericus tells him, all right, it's time to go. And he's like, all right, fine, I'll go. Fuck.
He finally makes the Keyblade, and then he fails with it to do anything. So, yeah, put him at the bottom of A. He's our
Hold on.
bottom.
Juicy, what's your input here?
No, I feel the same way. I think like he was such an interesting villain until the time travel, and then as they say, like the higher you are, the harder you fall, and I think that's what happened to him, unfortunately. So yeah, A tier.
All right. So the next one here, I don't even need to use this because I'll just fudge it. Actually, no, I might need to use it in case we put her somewhere. Nominee.
Nominee.
I would put her in the C tier below Demix.
Below Demix.
Yes, that's where I would slot her at. She's 100 times more useful than Kairi, though. But other than that, her story is basically done by Kingdom Hearts 2. She doesn't really show up. She shows up at the end of Kingdom Hearts. She has no role in Kingdom Hearts 3. But her role is basically Chain of Memories and Kingdom Hearts 2.
Can't argue that.
I think character design too. Yeah, she's kind of bland, but I kind of like who she was. Someone who created this world for Sora.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna put her under Ven, but I do think she belongs in C tier.
I believe that Larxene and Demix's potential ranks, gives them more points in the C tier in the end.
Yeah.
So I would put her above Lex Zexian. Is everyone okay with this?
I'm okay. I'm good with that.
IDK?
Where are you gonna put her?
What?
Where are you gonna put her?
Above Zexian.
Above Zexian. Yeah, that works. Okay. I can take that.
All right. The next one. All right, now we're down. How do you guys want to do this? We have 3 left: Riku, Sora, and Goofy. Who should we do first? Sora.
Yeah, let's do Sora.
All right, I'm gonna front run this. Hold on, I want to be objective here. Let me. If I follow my criteria, Sora is a C.
Interesting. Where and see?
For me, I would put him underneath Riku Replica.
I see where you're coming from. I do agree that he belongs in C tier, but I think he's high C only because he has more potential, unfortunately. And being the main character, like maybe his character design is a little boring, but you have to admit, like once you get those dual keychains or keyblades,
the 2 points I'm giving him are story and character development. Those are the 2 points I'm giving him for. So that's a 2 out of 5 for me. So I agree with the character design and the character design point, and I do believe obviously he is the story. Unfortunately, but just like Keith said, why can't the story be about Riku? Why does it have to be about Sora? Why does it have to be about Sora? Why can't it be about Riku? Anyways,
what's your criteria again? Roundness and what else?
So the 5 are character design, story, personality, the roundness, and the last one is the bonus factor, which is just me. That's just how I feel about the character, basically.
Honestly, I don't even think he deserves the story point.
Unfortunately, he is the story, though. Because basically all the hearts, the reason of his journey is because all the hearts are connected to him. So, unfortunately, while we don't, while I don't want to do that, you kind of have to. He's the main character, unfortunately. It's funny how we put Mickey or Donald and Mickey in the A tier, and meanwhile Sora's in the C tier. But I do believe that Sora does belong in the C tier, because he's literally the protagonist. That's his personality. He's the protagonist. The power of the light. He's the hero. He has to save everybody because Axel couldn't save Roxas on his own. That's bullshit. Sora has to save.
Yeah, I can see that. I still don't I still don't agree with the story point. Like even though he's the main character, doesn't mean that the story has to revolve around him. But like, I think gameplay wise, he's got to get some points off of gameplay. Like you play as him the entire time. You do all these cool ass moves, and for that, like I really like him because of that.
I mean, I think me and you have him in this around the same area, like high C.
Yeah.
IDK, what do you think? Before we discuss exactly where to place him, but I think me and Juicy have the same area. But IDK, what do you think?
The tiebreaker. Not worth rating.
There was a part of me that felt tempted about doing that because he's such an oddball character, but part of me wants to put him at the very, very, very bottom of B. The very last B. He's just a hair better than C.
I would argue that if that's the case, then we put him at the very top of C to what's the word? To average out everybody.
I could agree to that.
What do you think, Juicy? All right.
Yep.
More editing. All right. So if that's the case, Juicy, Goofy, where does Goofy go?
Like I said, Goofy's.
Oh, sorry. That's IDK. IDK was the one.
I'd say Goofy has to be somewhere near Sora. So he's either above Sora or he's below Sora.
I think if that's the case, we put Goofy at the bottom of B.
Is Goofy better than Sora though?
Yes.
He's smarter than Sora.
He is smarter than Sora, and he just burned Sora several times. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Put him at the bottom of B. I'll
Okay.
take it. I'll take it.
All right. So let me see if I can do this.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna find a better picture of Sayax. All right. Last one, Riku.
Hmm.
I'll go last.
Story-wise, it's important. Design-wise, he's had pretty cool designs. He's a cool character, but he fell to the trope of being the chosen one that fell to the darkness, and then gets redeemed from it, become a good guy again. But he's better than Sora. Therefore, by default, he has to be in B rank or above.
Juicy, what do you think?
I'm pretty biased. I think he deserves to be an S tier. I think you care more about Riku than any of the main characters. Well, I guess main characters, speaking of just Sora.
So
I don't know where in S tier he would belong though.
So IDK, you want to finish what you were saying? Sorry about that.
No, I was gonna say he has to be by default above Sora. So he's not in C tier or below. B tier, is he better than Xemnas and Maleficent? Yes. A tier, is he better than Ansem, Mickey, or what's his name?
Donald.
Zigbar.
Oh,
Zigbar.
Yeah.
Yes, I think he's better than those. So then that puts him definitively in S tier. Is he better than Aqua? As much as it pains me to say it, yeah, he has to be better than Aqua. Is he better than Axel?
Okay, all right. So I'm actually going to say this now. I think Riku deserves to be at the very top of S tier, above Roxas. If we're playing Roxas as the number one character, Riku is better than Roxas, just by that alone. Like, Riku has probably. While I say that Roxas and Axel probably are the best written characters, it's just by the sheer amount of time that Riku has been in the game alone. You know, like on average, he gets more character development anyway because he's just by the sheer amount of time he's been in the game. He basically starts the game as an edgelord, right? An edgelord who gets jealous of Sora because Sora has friends, and he doesn't. And then as he goes on, he like matures, and by the end of the game, at the end of it now, you know, he's basically an adult, right? It's basically he grew up, like Riku grew up throughout the course of the game. Unlike Sora, who's basically been the same thing because he's the happy-go-lucky one, and you know, so Riku has a character development. He has a good character design, just like, you know, even though if IDK said like, oh, he falls to the trope as the one that falls into the darkness, but he redeems himself and learns to use the darkness. Unlike, you know, like if it was really, this is a children's game, you know, unlike, you know, you're not supposed to use the darkness, but then Riku uses the darkness and the light. He uses both.
He's like a better Terra, honestly.
Yeah.
Like he did what Terra wanted to do, but failed at.
Yeah. And he has potential too, because we know Riku is in that town, right? From the Kingdom Hearts 3 secret ending.
And he's the only other character among all the other Keybladers who became a Keyblade Master.
Yes.
Him and Aqua.
I actually think Riku deserves to sit at the top of the S tier.
Well spoken. Once you said it's Riku or Roxas, that was
Yeah, I know. I'm like
easy way to determine it.
Yes,
yeah.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Very well done.
Are there any other adjustments you guys would like to make to this? Now that we have ranked everybody accordingly, is there anybody that needs to be moved around now? Now that we see this tier list in its entirety.
Is it fair to start questioning about Ansem and his
Yes.
position?
Yes.
Should we move Ansem though?
I think he's like
I think we should.
either.
I think we should move Ansem underneath Master Xehanort.
Yeah, I agree.
And I have one more suggestion too. I think we should move Axel up one and Roxas one down. I think the order should be Roxas. Riku, Axel, and then Roxas.
Interesting.
Despite I actually do like Roxas more, but I think in general, I think more people will consider Axel better than Roxas. Despite, yeah.
But if we're gonna apply Phil's factor and in general the thumbstick adventures factor,
Okay, sure. I mean, it's up to
I
you
would
guys.
I would prefer Roxas.
I'm just saying we can move Roxas down one and Axel up one. I am open to it if either of you want to do it. We can leave it there as is.
I'm maybe I just have a soft spot for Kyrie, but she needs to be like top tier for D. Come
So
on,
move,
don't dirt dirty like that.
So switch her with the old man.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine.
She's
Uh,
the Akechi of the series.
Fine, I'll allow it. The Roxas thing, uh, it feels right to swap them, but at the same time, I feel like Roxas isn't Roxas the more important character though.
Not really.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I guess
think-
I could see that. I could see that either way. If you wanted to swap it so Axel was number 2, that works. I guess.
I'm fine with leaving it. I'm just saying that if you guys want to change it, I'm open to it. But I'm fine with leaving it as is. I think they're pretty close, regardless. I think everyone in the S tier they're all well written characters to begin with. Anyway, I think they're all well written characters. So I think everyone in the S tier deserves to be in there. I don't think the order in the S tier actually really matters because I just think at this point it's just your matter of personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is definitive. Riku is top S+.
Was that actually who you thought was going to be in S tier, Juicy? Was Riku
Honestly, I didn't know.
Coming into this?
I knew Riku was up there, but I didn't really think about him till now.
Yeah.
He's who I thought. I thought for sure we were gonna have Riku in S tier.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was pretty sure we have Riku in S tier.
I had to see where your guys' thoughts on Sora was. If you guys rated Sora higher, then maybe Riku would be like A tier. But with Sora so firmly in the C tier, yeah, it was like okay, but bump that Riku up.
It's a little funny that Donald is better than Xehanort, but
And dude,
he does have Zeta Flare, so
yeah, dude, the Zeta Flare moment alone is all you need to see, right?
oh,
That's the only thing you need to see. Like that's peak Donald right there. That's peak Donald.
I almost cried when I thought that he died. Almost cried.
I was like, what? They killed Donald off? Like Disney allowed this? Disney allowed this? Did they not play the game before it was released? Like they allowed Donald dying? Like is he dead? Like didn't Goofy also
This is a
die
great
too?
tier.
Didn't Goofy die as well?
Yes.
Well, technically everyone died. So
No. Like in the earlier game, like they thought he was dead, but he was like sleeping or something like that. Like they thought he got knocked out. I forgot.
oh,
I'm
I
pretty
don't
sure.
remember.
Yeah, it was Kingdom Hearts 2, I think. There's that one scene where he gets taken out and everyone thinks he's dead, but then he gets up and he's fine.
Yeah.
And that's why he's on B tier. All right.
So I guess this is the definitive tier list, Kingdom Hearts character tier list. Any closing thoughts, my friends?
Don't download the DLCs. Just don't. Whatever you do, any new game, any new Kingdom Hearts game, it's gonna have DLC. Just don't do it. Maybe just don't even do the new Kingdom Hearts game. Just don't do it.
I'd say don't play Chain of Memories either version. Just watch a playthrough or a story recap. Don't play
It's
this.
fun. GBA version is very fun.
Okay, GBA version maybe not the PS2 remake. That's not fun.
I just want to point out that we all know how rabid the Kingdom Hearts fan base is, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now that we have sat down, we have objectively looked at all of the major characters. The characters themselves aren't actually that good. You know, this is a hot take. The characters themselves, you know, like they're all pretty one-dimensional. Like, besides everyone in the S tier and the A tier and most of the B tier, there's a lot of characters that are just kind of like plot devices and one-dimensional. Like, their designs are cool. That's why I think that's why people like them. But beyond the designs, there's not much more than that, right? Is that a fair assessment?
It's a fair assessment because you don't have Sephiroth in this character tier list. So,
like, if you can,
I mean,
Just kidding.
I think the story is woven with characters that have to be stronger than others. It's like a giant play, and people have certain parts to play, so everyone can't be a super strong character and always have the spotlight on them.
So let me ask another question then. Let's compare it to Final Fantasy then. So I haven't played that many Final Fantasy games, so you guys are better, more well versed in this. If you were to look at Final Fantasy's characters objectively, as what we just did with the Kingdom Hearts character, right? Like, do you think that the Final Fantasy characters are better written than the Kingdom Hearts characters?
Yes, but it's not a fair question because Final Fantasy games are quite encapsulated in their own like numbered game.
Yes.
Whereas Kingdom Hearts is entire series, so like you're basing the characters throughout the entire series, which can actually help them. But in this case, it doesn't help them only because the story is so convoluted. So and then also like Kingdom Hearts, the intention was to create this game for kids, right? Because it had this crossover with Disney, and then had major success. And Nomura, wanted to make it darker and more edgy, and it just spun out of control. Like he just wrote a bad story, and that was it.
All right. Well, maybe. Well, congratulations to us. We did 20 episodes. I can't believe we got this far. I can't believe we're still doing them. Just kidding. We are amazing. We are the best podcast ever. We have so much insights, as you can clearly see by our definitive tier list. This is definitive ranking. If you don't agree with this, you're stupid. You have no idea what you're talking about. You should stop fanboying, fanboying
Yep.
/ fangirling.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is definitive. There is no. If you disagree,
We're about
us,
to post this on Reddit.
What?
Got to post this on Reddit.
Yeah, no.
The definitive tier list.
Yeah, we gonna get eviscerated. I'll tell you that.
Somebody gonna be mad at Sora as C rank. Like, how dare you put the main character at C rank? He should obviously be B rank. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Or some Ven fan. God knows who that is.
I guarantee you, the one Lexaeus fan is gonna be like, Lexaeus doesn't deserve to be at the bottom of your tier list. He deserves to be at the top. You'll have some stupid reason, I guarantee you.
Who is your character again?
What's your character's name? We couldn't even think of his. It took us like a minute to come up with his name. All right.
Someone out there gonna be like Peach v S tier because he's too funny.
Who?
Pete.
Oh, Pete. I thought you said
Pete.
Peach. I'm like, Peach isn't in this game.
Yeah.
I mean, she's S tier on which game was it? Was she S tier in Melee? No, not Melee.
Melee.
Brawl. I think she was S tier in Brawl.
No. It's Melee. She's not S tier in any
I thought she was S
Actually.
tier in one game. Her recovery was too good.
Brawl is Meta Knight. There's only one S tier, it's Meta Knight.
Oh yeah, right, yeah. S, no, that's like S, yeah, S tier, yeah, man, yeah. You mean ban, completely ban word.
Bad tier.
Yeah, Meta tier. All right. Well, anyways, thank you everybody for listening in, and we're glad you can listening in to watch us celebrate our 20th episode. Once again, you can find us on Twitch as Thumbstick Adventurers, or you can find us on YouTube as also Thumbstick Adventurers. And if you're on Twitch, feel free to give us a a follow, right? It's follow, right? A follow.
Yeah.
Or subscribe.
Or I mean, you can't subscribe yet. You can't. We need more followers.
No.
Or you can, but if you want to subscribe to it, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel instead. That also helps us too. I mean,
Yeah.
like we said, we don't get any money out of it. We just get the number go up. Like you, personally, even if they offered me ads to put ads in our videos, I personally would not want to do it. I don't know about my colleagues. We just want you guys to enjoy our podcast uninterrupted. That's what I would prefer. Anyways, once again, thank you everybody for listening, and we'll see you guys next time. And hopefully we'll do more tier lists like this. So, good night.
Bye.
Zeta Flares!